All right, so we are back with another Q&A, and we're going to talk about fasting a little bit, and as it relates to GH, we're going to talk about bro splits and high frequency splits, and we're going to talk about pyramiding your weights up. So stay tuned and listen to what I have to say. All right, hi everybody, John Meadows here for another Q&A. I picked out 3 more questions, just like I usually do to answer. And the first one comes from Mr. Street Ninja 007. What a cool name. And he says, I want to progress from bro splits to a high frequency split. How do I do that? That's interesting because a lot of us start with bro splits. That's where I started. You know, the body part one time a week. And then we progress into higher frequency splits. Now, when I hear high frequency, I think in my head, you're going to be training like 3 times a week for a body part. There's a middle ground there, which is 2 times a week. But my answer is going to be largely the same. So what you're going to have to do, if you're on a bro split, I'm going to assume you're training with pretty good volume for the body part and pretty intensely. If you're not training with a lot of volume and you're not training very intensely, your bro split's probably not going to work. But as you increase the frequency, you need to spread out the volume a little bit. So let's say you're training your legs. Let's say you're doing 20 sets for your quads and hams total on your bro split. So if you go to twice a week, you're not going to do 20 sets on Monday and another 20 on Friday. That's too big of a jump. So you're going to want to pull your volume down per session. So maybe you go 11 or 12 sets on Monday and 11 or 12 sets the other day. So you're still in the same volume roughly. You get a little bit more. Now, if when you said high frequency, you meant 3 times a week, now you got to go down even lower with your volume. So now you might go 8 sets on Monday, 8 sets on Wednesday, and 8 sets on Friday. So my point is when you increase your frequency, be careful with adding tons of sets. And I would recommend you actually don't add tons of sets. In my opinion, the reason why you increase frequency, it's to stimulate the muscle more often. It's not to destroy it. When you're doing very low frequency, you need to destroy the muscle. You need to kill yourself. But when you are doing these high frequency splits, I would highly advise that you pull the volume down. You're not going to be able to destroy your body part every time. You can't absolutely crush your legs on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's more to stimulate them more often. Stimulate protein synthesis, stimulate that muscle protein breakdown, rebuild the muscles bigger and better and stronger. So hope that helps. My next question actually came from like 4 or 5 different people, and they were asking what's the correct way to pyramid. I thought that was an interesting question because I think sometimes when we pyramid, some people count as warm-ups and some people count as sets. And I'll have discussions with people and they'll say, I only do 2 sets for biceps. I'll go, really? Okay. What do you do? Well, I do 3 sets of 10, and then on my 4th set, I go all out and I do 8. And then I'll talk to somebody else and I'll say, how many sets for biceps you do? And they'll say, oh, I do about 10 or 8. Okay, what do you do? And they tell me the same thing. It's just one person counts some of their warm-ups and one person doesn't. So, so how do you pyramid? So I think that it's determined more on your exercise sequence. So if you are on your first exercise, you need to obviously pyramid with more sets because you need to get warmed up. If the first thing you're doing is squats, for example, you need to do 15 reps and 12 reps and 10 reps, going up nice and slow. And then once you got a lot of blood in there, you can pull your reps down. But you got to take your time, and take it from me, take it from an older guy. Don't rush those warm-up sets. If it takes you 5, 6, 7 sets to warm up, so be it. Be smart and do it. Now, let's say you've done your squats. Say you've done leg curls, you've done squats, your legs are pumped up, they feel great, and you go to leg press. Let's say you leg press 500 pounds. Are you going to do 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates? No. You're already warmed up. In that situation, the way I would pyramid up is by doing feeder sets. Feeder sets are just kind of acclimation sets. It's just move the weight, get your body used to it. So I might do 2 sets, or I might do 2 plates on the leg press for 3 or 4 reps, and then do 4 plates for 3 or 4 reps, and then I'm ready for the fifth 5 plates, which would be my work set in the scenario that I do 5 plates. So the deeper you get into the workout, the less pyramiding you need to do on each exercise. Bring the reps down so you don't exhaust yourself. You're already warmed up, but get used to the weight though. So just get on there, do 2, 3, 4 reps, just a few reps to feel the weight, and go up. And the other thing is, like, let's say you do leg press last. Well, you don't even need to do in that scenario, you won't even need to do the 1 or 2 or 3 plates. You'll probably be able to just go straight to 5 plates and do your sets of 8 or whatever it is you do. So my answer is, the earlier you are in the workout, the more those warm-up sets you need. Take your time, but the later you get in the workout, don't exhaust yourself. Lower rep pyramiding sets that we just call feeder sets. So I hope that helps. The other question I got from McAdoo, and he asked about fasting and increasing GH levels. He's talking about he wants to increase his GH levels by fasting. Now, this one I have a little heartburn with, because there's a lot of people, and you guys know that I love 24-hour fast. I'm a big proponent in it. But there's a lot of people who say that when you fast, you magically elevate your GH levels. They get really high. It's great for muscle growth, muscle retention. And I think that's a little misleading. Do your GH levels go up a little bit? Yeah, sure. They do go up a little bit, like a little transient increase. But it's not like you're taking a 9-unit injection of growth hormone. Like, people are misleading you to think that something awesome is going to happen. You're going to secrete a little GH just to protect your muscle. That's a good thing. Here's where, honestly, where you release the most GH is actually when you're sleeping. And it's actually in the non-REM phase of sleep. So you have these non-REM phases of sleep, and then you go into REM, which is rapid eye movement. But actually in the non-REM phase of sleep, it's broken down into 4 phases. And you get to that 3rd and 4th phase, that's actually where you have the big pulse in GH. So I would worry more about getting good sleep if I were you. That's going to have a better effect on your GH level than just fasting. Not that fasting is bad, just do it for the right reasons. Don't do it for a BS reason, thinking it's going to give you massively high GH levels. So those are your 3 questions. I hope my answers were beneficial. Feel free to comment below and reply to my thoughts, or ask me new questions. As we continue to do these Q&As, I enjoy them and I appreciate the engagement. So thank you very much.